What's up? What's going on? Jumping right into it. More handlebars. Oh my goodness, I am excited about this. These bars are from the good folks out in Europe, out in Germany, and it's from a company called Lambda Tuning. So check me out. If you have not seen the video, I made a video talking about these bars, just talking about them, right? Lambda Tuning has seen the video, they liked the video, and he's like, yo, we want to send you some bars. I was like, I appreciate it. So just a disclaimer, I did not purchase these bars. I got them for free, and I'm going to talk about them. And I don't think I got enough space on here, so let's just move this out the way and get these open, and here we go. Check me out. Y'all just got to ignore my pajamas, man. It's late at night. But anyway, these are the Lambda Tuning X-Wing bars. These bars are super dope, man. As stated, I did a video on these before. Check out the video. It goes into more of the specifics, and it shows a couple pictures of them like on the bike and kind of the specs of them. But this is an up close, in-personal look of these bars because I have them in my hands. And dude, these are these are going to be very interesting. Very interesting. So let's talk about these, right? These bars are very ergonomic. Every little piece of the design, it's been well thought out and very much planned. And I can appreciate it just looking at it, man. One of the things I noticed right off the bat, the tops, man. The tops, this is like, it's super beefy, bro. Oh my goodness, look how thick this dang on bar is. And what it's supposed to do is, let me move this out the way. It's a good place to rest your hand. So when you're on the tops just chilling, this is where your hand rests, man. Very ergonomic. It's got a good grip to it. I like it. It's got kind of like this little notch right here for a place, kind of like a stopper, so your hand wouldn't, I guess, slide further than it needs to be. Also on the tops, if you're looking at the contour of it, this whole part right here, this is more round, so like the palm of your hand, it rests there. But then towards this part of the bar, it gets really flat. So it's a nice part for the outside of your hand to rest right here. That's dope. Really like that. Getting into the shifter area, the reach on this bar is super short. I want to say it's like 72. Now, one of the reasons the reach is so short is because the design of this bar is to get after a certain issue. And one of those issues is you got a lot of folks that are tilting their hoods more inwards, right? And the UCI has this band on how much tilt you can have in your shifter while sitting on the bar. And it's supposed to be for safety concerns and all that other good stuff. But if you look at how this bar is shaped, when you mount your shifter onto this bar, it puts your shifter at a natural cant. So it's already kind of tilted in. So they can't really say you're tilting your shifter in because this is how the bar is designed. Now, when your shifter is mounted and it's got that cant to it, since it has that shorter reach, it makes it easier for you to be able to get to that brake lever because of the angle that the shifter is on. So that's really dope. I like that. Another thing about this bar is look at this sweep. This has a very aggressive flare to it. How aggressive is it? Man, let me tell you about this, right? This bar measures in the drops, well, let's start at the tops. In the tops, it measures 37. 37 in the tops, and then in the drops, it measures 43. So it is crazy wide. And I want to say it's got the specifics on here. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. So if you look at the top right here, it tells you that the bar in the bottom is 43. That's in the drops. In the tops, it is 37. The drop is 105. That's very interesting right there. And then the reach is 72. Now this drop being 105, that just means it's very shallow from the top to the drop. I would say an average bar, usually the drop is like, like a 125 or so, like a 125 or 127. This could possibly, I'm not sure how comfortable it's going to be. I definitely have to get on the bike because right now, most of the bars that I've been running all have like a drop of 125. But the bars that are on my Factor, the Black Ink Aero Bar and Stem, that drop is 120. And because it's a shorter drop, the curvature of the bar, so when my hand is like resting, trying to get comfortable, I don't know, I'm not getting along with the one-piece bar and stem from Black Ink. It's at the point like I really think I'm gonna have to change out that bar because it's not comfortable. Now with this being said, with this drop being a 105, just putting it in my hand, it doesn't feel bad, but I definitely got to get it on the bike to see. But that's going to be interesting because the drop is so short, such a shallow drop. But that wide width, I think that's going to be great because one of the disadvantages, in my opinion, to running a narrow bar is, yeah, your aero when you are kind of like in maybe like a Sphinx position or you're kind of sitting on the bike. But when it comes to creating torque on the bike, when you're getting out the saddle and you're climbing, pushing the bike, and definitely when you're sprinting, trying to rock the bike, a narrow bar, you don't get that good torque, at least not for me, and that's not my preference. That's one of the reasons I've been going to a wider bar. For one, it's a little more comfortable for me when I'm laying on the bike, but more importantly, when I am out the saddle for whatever reason, whether I am climbing or whether I'm sprinting, the wider bar works for me. So this kind of gives you like the best of both worlds. You got something narrow up top, and then when you get to the drops, you still got your 43. Now they make a couple different sizes of it. This is the largest size that they have because this was the size that I figured it would work with me the best. Like I said, 37 in the tops and 43 in the drops. Now, another thing about this bar is how can you route the cables, right? They have a couple different ways that you can route these cables, and I really, really like it, right? Once you have everything on, you got your shifters mounted on, right? And you want to route these cables. On the bottom of here, you got these channels. So you got your cables coming from the shifters. They come through the channel, and what you can do is you can have it just exit straight to go underneath the stem. So like I got this Tarmac S-Work stem. You can have your cables come right through the channel and go right underneath the stem, and that's how you can route them. Now if you want to route them internally, same thing. Cables come off the shifter, they go through this channel, or they sit in this channel, then they go inside the bar. You can have them go inside the bar and come out the back side of the bar. Now, depending on your stem setup, and jumping back to the S-Work stem, just because I got it sitting right here, the inside of the Tarmac S-Work stem is hollow, right? I'm trying to see if you can see through there. But it's hollow. So you can have your shifter cables come through, sit in the channel, go through the bar, come out the back, run through the stem, and then go down your steer tube, and then you're not going to see any cables. That's dope. So if you want to run it inside or outside, you have the options. Also, you have like the older 11-speed joint. Some people have the junction box where it goes in the bar end, and then sometimes they need a exit port for a Di2 wire. They already have it drilled in there. And that's whatever side you want to run, whether it's the left side or the right side. Because you got like the MV bars. The MV bars have a nice flare to it as well. But then the end caps is kind of like a dome where you don't need a bar end. But if you want to run a junction box or something like that, you have to cut off the end of the MV bar. And then if you want to run the cable through, you got to drill a hole in there. I like it that it's already done. Now, speaking of the MV bar and kind of talking about some of those features and comparing it to this, or just in general, comparing it to other bars that I have ran, the flare. I really like the flare of this bar. To me, it's like a mix of the NV bar and a mix of the Vision bar. Because with the Vision bar, when they flare out, it kind of goes straight down and then bumps out. And then the NV bar just has a crazy flare. Like I said, this kind of has like a mix to me. The crazy flare, the amount of bump out, in the drops, that reminds me of the Envy. But kind of like the way this design is, this kind of reminds me of the Vision bar. But it looks very, very good. Another thing that I really like about the bar, just looking at it, all the markings, right? So you can specifically line up your shifters, man. That is like, that's great. And also where all these lines are, this also has like the kind of fiber paste on there, the little grip texture. That is dope. Same thing in the middle of the bar. It's got like that fiber paste pre-installed where you hook up the stem, and they got all those lines on there so you can see how you got your stem, well, how your bar is positioned on the stem. I really like that. It makes it great for getting things dialed in. This is a good looking bar. One of the things you probably want to know is like, how much does this thing weigh? I'm gonna spin you on this table real quick and show you how much this thing weighs. Also inside the box, they got a little user manual, and it tells you everything about the bar. As stated, this is from Lambda Tuning, and this is their X-Wing bar. They got a couple little pictures on there, kind of showing you a couple different variations of it. But anyway, let's get on to this weight and see how much this bar weighs. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this bar, right? And I actually do not have a bike to put these on. Like, I got my Bianchi and it's sitting over here. I might rebuild my Bianchi, but this also might just be a reason to get a whole new bike, man. I've been looking at some Specialized Ally Sprints, and I found one for a good price. I might pick it up and then put these bars on there, but we shall see. Let's get this thing zeroed out. How much does these bars weigh? 238 grams. This thing is not focusing at all for you. I am so sorry about that. But 238 grams. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. Now, like I said, when it comes to mounting this up, the stem I would probably use is this S-Work stem because I have it. And then also because of how the cable routing is, I would prefer to route the cables through the bar, through the stem, and down the steering tube. That way it's super, super clean. You don't see anything. And I want to kind of show you what this would look like with this stem connected to these bars, just to kind of give you a look of what it would look like if you were using like the S-Work stem.
A few moments later.
All right, let me spin you around and show you this, but look at this, yo. This is the top view. Like I said, this is the Lambda Tuning X-Wing bar, and this is on a Tarmac S-Work stem, and dude, that looks clean, bro. Ooh, that looks clean. That looks clean. And like I said, because the inside of the stem is hollow, if you have cables that run down the steer tube, you can run your wires straight through the bar, out the backside of the bar, through the stem, down the steer tube, and this is how it's gonna look. It's gonna be clean. This is the front. That looks aggressive. I really like the way this looks, bro. Man, that is a good looking bar. Like I said, right now I do not have anything to put this on. I could rebuild my Bianchi and put it on there, but the Bianchi XR3 is a different type of bike. I really think this would be better suited for a more aggressive kind of race style bike, and I might have to get this this dang on Ally Sprint, man. But these bars look good. What do you guys think about these, man? And all the features in the tops, the really wide hand placement, you know, kind of round so the palm of your hand can sit in there. I like the more flat outside where your hand can rest. It's got a crazy flare, so when you in the drops, you still get all the control. You know, you throwing down a sprint, and then if you just ride in the tops, you want to be aero, you can get narrow with the 37. And like I said, this is, I want to say this is the largest bar they had. This is the 37 in the tops, 43 in the drops. I want to say the smallest one they have dang, I want to say it was something crazy, like maybe like a 34 in the hoods, and then in the drops it's like a 39 or a 40 or something like that. But this is a very, very good looking bar, and the price is on point. I want to say, I'll put the specific price on the screen so you can see, but it is under $300. You cannot beat that for under $300, man. If you want to get like a vision bar or a specialized bar, I mean, you're going to spend at least $300, and that's probably on the used market. And if you get one new, probably about $400, man. So to get a nice carbon bar, decent weight, plenty of ergonomics, flare, all the great things about it for under $300, you cannot beat it. But this was just like an in-depth, up close and personal of the Lambda Tuning X-Wing bar. You got to check it out, bro. You got to check it out. And if you want to know more of the actual specifics of it, check out my other video because I gave a lot more specifics and in-depth detail of that. This is just an actual look of the bar because I have it in my hand. And this is paired with the Tarmac S-Works stem. Very, very dope setup. But that is all I got for y'all. This is your boy, Mr. Rob Armstrong, and I am out.